Hey there, Jeff. Welcome in. Hang on, microphone check. Yep, okay. We're working. Welcome in, Jeff. How are you doing? I'm trying to remember how to play this game. It's been so long. Actually there was one thing I was gonna do. I was gonna take a look at jungle collector armor. Because I have a number of collectible items currently. My inventory for stockpiling like tanned hide, I'm like, I know the final armor is like around, you need like a total of around 200. And I'm not getting as much tanned hide anymore. Had to refresh. Bloodstone? Yeah, I'm currently at Bloodstone. I'm going to take a moment to look up some stuff on Wiki. I mainly want to look up the collector armor stuff. Oh, is that Jeff? Iron Bart Clouser. That is Jeff, if I recall the name. Do Bloodstone together. Hang on, I'm gonna take a look. So ebon spider legs, I can get leather gloves already. I need two more of the one level above you. I don't know if we can do this. I'm too overpowered. What level are the oops, no. What level are the henchmen here? Okay, henchmen are 15. So I think we can handle it. So let's see. Hember is another collector. And, oh, white mantle emblems. And Meguma mains. Okay. Because I'm trying to resist... Oh yeah, you're running Beastmaster, aren't you? Yep, Beastmaster build. With a little bit of rebirth. Oh yeah, do I have rebirth on me? That was protection. I do not have rebirth. How do I not have rebirth? What? I don't know if you get that from a quest. I don't seem to have it, or if you just buy it. In which case I haven't bought it yet. So yeah, I'm kind of vaguely, picking up some collector. I'm thinking of maybe it's a little side Ironman challenge thing that I'm thinking of doing, but there's a little bit of practicality to it. Is not only using armor collectors and not armor crafters until, I get to the end. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, I guess let's load up on some henchmen here. I guess we don't need Reyna. Take Claude, please. Okay. And Elysia. You know what? Let's kick Dunham then and go Orion. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I like to always have an elementalist. Mesmer if I can, but stated preference for Necromancer, so. I am ready. Insightful smiting staff of smiting. Oh yeah, what is? So I've forgotten where I've even left. Okay, I've got a fiery longbow, plus 14 while in a stance. Still not max. Minor marks mask. I've got some minor runes. A little bit of energy. Fiery bow OP. I was like, no, what I need to do after the whole Dark Souls thing, it's like I need to get a lightning bow. So I guess intermission. Now, honestly, Bloodstone, I don't remember. You have no runes, really? Oh man. I've got a couple of minor runes, and mainly like some energy, like minor. I think I've got a minor health rune. I'm not sure. I honestly, hang on. Actually, I haven't even looked at my skills. Okay. Also, I have a pet. Okay. This is weird. I'm legitimately out of it a little bit on the skills. I've been doing too much Dark Souls lately. Guild Wars is too hard now. I know this mission ends with the spiders. I do not remember what the bonus... Oh no, I do remember the bonus. The bonus is the druids, isn't it? Okay, it's starting to come in. I'm gonna solo the bonus. I don't have a run skill on me. I could equip a run skill. But otherwise, if we just make sure the henchmen behave themselves. Want to restart? Nah. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. Looking for Ryder, he's gone ahead to the Bloodstone, down in that clearing. The Mantle are taking the Chosen there right now. You'll need this if you want to catch up. I was playing Demon Souls PS3 off stream today, and boy oh boy, let me tell you, the difference. It's better than PS5, 100%. Jeff, you just like the older iterations. Although in this particular case, I wouldn't be surprised because the PS5 Demon Souls, it wasn't actually From Software that did the port. It was what's that company, Bluehole. So I could see them, you know, putting their own little interpretive spin on that's probably a little different. Blue Hole? Blue Point. Okay. Why was I thinking Blue Hole? Don't answer that. I don't keep track of names. Blue Hole is a pretty wacky hentai... What? Is it? Why the hell is it even in my head then? Because it's certainly not something I've seen. I'm not saying I haven't seen some messed up, you know, stuff online, but that particular, whatever that particular one is, I have not. Now you're kidding, okay. Blue Gender is an anime, though, that's messed up. Oh, okay. I haven't even heard of that one. How's your pet holding up? Is he doing all your damage? Oh yeah, I should be interrupting spells probably. Oh well, too late. Not too late. He's a fucking idiot, which is why I have to spam target. Oh, okay. I thought you were just being controlling. It's like, attack this guy. Can't trust Kit to attack the right things. Which is true, you can't. Honestly. Ooh. My preparations are going down quite quickly. Have to play this way or he won't do anything. Well, that's annoying. What about, you know, selecting the target and hitting the attack on your pet bar? Or is that a little too extra micro? I like spamming, okay. I do think that's a little odd if he's not behaving that way, because I think my pet usually attacks. It does take my pet a minute. You know, a moment to attack. I always get the first shot off. Unless I manually, you know, tell him to attack. Just faster if you spam. Yeah, that's fair. Oops. Man, preparation, 24 seconds is not a long time. It's alright, I'm on the other one. I'm bleeding the other one. Yep. This does feel really, really wild, you know, because I've been gone for a couple of weeks now. What was it? Oh, hey there, Lime. Welcome in. How you doing today? I'm finally back to Guild Wars after extended absence. Oh, I messed up that interrupt. I initially took a break because I was getting a little tired of the Ironman thing. And then I started having internet troubles on top, so I was a little bit of a forced break, unfortunately. But now I'm back on Sundays.
And I love you, random citizen.
Oh, thank you for the follow, John Birch. How you doing today? Guild Wars 1 fan, I assume? I'm kind of a trailing member of the community Ironman group that was going on. I've been going a bit slower than everyone else. I think most other people are in factions at this point. I think there's some even in Nightfall. I took a little bit of an extended break, though. Most people quit, says Jeff. Well, there is that. I mean, there was never an expectation that everyone was gonna stay the whole way. With any community endeavor, there's always going to be, you know, the ones that don't hold out. Check the guild. Uh-oh. 1 week, 2 weeks. A lot of 1 months and a couple of 2 months. Yeah. So, since I'm coming back, I'm still playing by the Ironman rules. There's, except one thing. Originally, Ironman was not using henchmen. Then that became an optional thing somewhere along the line. I still resisted using henchmen as much as possible, but since coming back, I'm like, nope. It's that's one thing. I'm gonna use henchmen. It's fine. I'm otherwise still gonna be using drops only for items. I'm starting to think about, I mentioned this to Jeff a little bit earlier, I'm starting to think about doing a little extra, an extra iron thing where I only use armor from collectors and not crafters. I don't know, we'll see. There's a nice guy, he played nearly every day for years, he passed away. Oh, did he? Oops. Looks like I'm accidentally tanking. I'm ranger tanking.
Boy,
Unfortunate.
you're now second best in the family.
Hey there, Dargus. Welcome in. How you doing? I'm currently in Bloodstone with Jeff, and as you know, I'm finally back on the internet now that I'm not having troubles. We have to go back for bonus. Do we? I do not remember. I have not been paying attention. I think you might be right. Oh. Hang on, Jeff. I'm on my way. Hold out just a little bit longer. Oh, you're doing fine. You've got him. He was a grandfather and he got cancer. Oh, that... sorry to hear. Oh, you know, I can probably grab one of these too because... Oops. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit of my own spamming back here. Don't worry about it, Jeff. The henchmen are doing their thing. That's right. Okay, so there's these pedestals. Thank God we have Elysia. Hey, she's got more heals than I have currently. So yeah, Dargus, where are you on your Iron Guild Wars character? Or did you also put it down for a little while? My character has like literally not moved since the last time I played, which was what? Has it been like 4 weeks? I think it's been like a month since I was last in Guild Wars. Initially, I was taking a break because I felt a little funny about the Ironman challenge. It was starting to feel a little bit like work. And I kind of wanted to take a break from it. And then... Okay, so he's going to cruise... So on some Sundays, didn't touch it since, well, yeah. Do not harm the jungle guardians. Okay. Now, if I recall, we can harm them, we just can't kill them. So a little bit of incidental damage is okay, but as long as we don't let them actually kill, we're all right. So I'm gonna need to flag. I'm gonna flag henchmen through. Okay, they're getting stuck. Yeah, yeah. Hang on, I need to flag the henchmen. They're being stupid. Okay. I say I have a seed on me, so I'm just gonna keep it for later. I don't know if I have any keys. I do not have any keys. Okay, more jungle guardians. Where should I fly?
Well, as humans like to say, third time's the charm, right?
Hey there, Amorphous. Welcome in. I'm finally back in Guild Wars, and I am running Bloodstone Fen with Jeff. We're currently attempting to do the bonus. I have a seed with me. I don't think anyone's died yet. What year did I start Guild Wars? I started in 2005. I started in the fall of 2005. Ooh, Mossy Mandible. I wasn't there quite at launch. You know what, Jeff? Yeah, maybe you should be Seed Runner instead of me. Because I'm kind of wrangling the henchmen so that they don't attack things. Hawkeye wasn't as bad as I expected, just felt like poorly executed. Yeah, I'm kind of falling off the Marvel train a bit. Drop the nut up here. Yeah. So henchmen. I'm gonna send the henchmen through. I'll drop the seed on this one here. Okay. Henchmen, do not attack. Oops, we're going back. Okay, yep. Sorry, I guess we don't have any seeds currently, so we're making our way back. Let's make sure... Oh, no. Henchmen are stuck. Henchmen are stuck. Need assistance, yep. I'm trying to... The henchmen are getting stuck on every little thing. Alright, go for it, Jeff. The ending was, yeah. Oh, moss scarabs. Okay, these guys we can attack. I heard there'd be a new Daredevil season, new Punisher. On Disney's Plus. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, we still have... Is there still one more there, Jeff? I don't recall. Up there? Okay. I have not, you know... I haven't seen... What was the last Marvel thing that I watched? I remember I saw Multiverse of Madness. And... Oh, nice! You can gold hornbow. Alright, What are the stats on it? Talking to Elder Druid. Oh, is that... Oh, yeah, he's got a, very bad. Oh, there's bonus. Now we can kill all the guardians. A zealous string? I think you need, like, an IAS if you're gonna use a zealous. Mind resetting mission Now that the bonus is done. Actually, Jeff, how do you feel about restarting the mission? I think Dargus wants to come along. If Dargus doesn't care about the bonus, we can have an extra player in here. Yes, Dargus. Yes, you remember Dargus. What do you mean? Just kidding. Yeah, here. I'm gonna go ahead and resign. And honestly, this is okay because I've been... Dargus, you've missed out a little bit. I've been playing Dark Souls so much and everything, and I've been away from Guild Wars so long that I've been very clumsy getting back. Figuring out what the buttons do, and well, I mean, not figuring out what the buttons do, getting used to the rhythm of it. So, I'm like, where's my dodge roll? Where's this? Where's that? It's like, oh no. We're good. So let's see. Who do we want to kick in favor of Dargus? I suppose Stefan, maybe? Go tankless, because we've got 2 pets. 2 melee pets. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we're in Bloodstone America 1. What account was your Iron Man on again? I'm afraid I cannot help with that, Dargus. I'm going to take a moment to open the window. It's getting warm already. Oh, Jeff has initiated dance, so we'll do the wait. Hey there, Blood. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm finally back. I'm finally able to stream again, and I'm also finally back in Guild Wars. I'm on my Iron Man character. I'm still doing the iron thing. The only change is that I am more freely embracing henchmen. Oh, looks like Dargus found it on his first account. I am thinking of changing one iron thing, and also for the record, I am not holding anyone else to this. This is just purely on my own character, is using collector armor only up until the end, until I get to Draknar's. So Dargus is 1 mission behind. Oh no. What's the 1 mission? Oh, the wilds. Oh, the wilds. The big one. Well, Jeff, what do you think? Do we want to go pick up Dargus and do the wilds? I don't really want to do the wilds, but it's such a big long one. Don't mind if we keep going on our own. Catch up later on. Okay, I mean, if you don't mind just hanging out and watching, because I'm sorry, I really do not like the wilds mission. Shaking my head. We resigned just because. Okay, well, here. Stefan back in the party. Oops. And also Jeff back in the party. The wilds is, yeah. Sorry. That's okay. We did the we got the bonus. Can collector armors even use insignias? I doubt it. Probably not. Just runes. But at the same time, I don't know that I have that many insignias. Well, there's one. Plus 10 versus physical. Plus 10 versus physical. There's one there. I'm not sure if it's the energy or the health. So, ready? Oh, ready. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Oh yeah, no, I don't need the run skill anymore, because the run was for the would have been for the bonus. Forgot I was behind. The wilds. Uh-oh, Amorphous. What are you thinking about with the wilds? Oh, I need to prepare up. Oops, and yeah, die, Warthog. The Warthog was a threat. Have I seen rune prices? I have not, because I am not able to buy runes on this character. So rune prices can do whatever they damn well please. Things have changed a lot since I took a break. Have they now? Like, in what way? Are prices like crazy high or crazy low? If you get hit by, oh yeah, the pet insignia is good. That is true. Oops. I didn't want to do that. Oh, I didn't get any keys. I was thinking nobody likes the mission. Yeah, I remember when I first ran it again, you know, when I came back like a year ago, and I was on my, you know, warrior monk, or my monk warrior. And I hadn't played it in, you know, 10 plus years, and I got lost in the wild. The wilds took me like 2 hours to do just because I got so damn lost in it. So yeah, I'm not a fan. Oops. Oh, looks like Jeff is leveled up. We are now equals. I am no longer overpowered compared to you, Jeff. As the joke goes. Imagine Z keys are 500% higher. Yeah, the Zaishin chest is another thing I never really did. That was just a little too grindy crazy for me. I didn't have a whole lot of interest in it. I got my Guam title, you know, on other things, if I recall. I don't remember what, but Zaishin chest is okay if you do PvP. Yeah, and that's exactly it. I'm not a PvP guy. I mean, I should partially take that back. I liked factions PvP. Like, I liked the Alliance battle. I liked, you know, Fort Aspenwood. I never really got into Jade Quarry. I'm not sure why. I just never really cared for Jade Quarry all that much. But I like the others. But like Heroes Ascent, you know, and Random Arenas, that stuff never really appealed to me. Now, I know you can grind Z keys by doing... There's like the versus AI stuff you can do on the battle isles. As a ranger, you go in there with the trapping build and you can pretty much, you know, kill any team with a bit of care and not actually have to deal with people, you know, playing against people. But my thing is, every time I played against people, there's always a toxic element to it, it seems like, you know. And I get it, you know, the shit posting in chat, you know, it's, oh yeah, mostly all in good fun, but at the same time I'm like, eh. It's not really my scene. I'm poor with insults. Or at least with coming up with insults quickly. So. We have got some loud cars in our neighbor. Our next door neighbors have two really, really loud cars. It's quite annoying, honestly. Some guys are toxic, yeah. Although, honestly, in Guild Wars, the times I PvP'd in Guild Wars, it generally speaking wasn't that bad compared to other games that I've seen PvP stuff. Guild Wars community generally was well behaved. I think I've told the story before of when I played Heroes of Newerth. Hang on, I'm going to drop the sound a little bit. I played Heroes of Newerth when that came out, and the very first match I got into, before we even started the game, my teammates were yelling and screaming at me or something. And this was like day of release, and they were yelling and screaming at me for already not having like a top tier optimized build or character or whatever. I don't know. Clearly, just by existing, I was offending their sensibilities. So I just noped out. I'm like, okay, well, screw you guys. You guys get to do this match with one less player. I make no claims to being a good player. I may not have been particularly useful, but now you're one down, so hey, enjoy. Some people manage to ignore the toxic stuff. Some others, me included, just got too tired about it. Muting all chats isn't enough. Some toxicity is game griefing, which happens. Yeah, exactly. For me, it could be kind of a day-to-day. There are days where I could tune it out and not really mind, but there are other days where I was like, I just didn't want to see or deal with any of it. Like, if I've already had a really toxic day at work or something, I don't need even more of that when I come home and relax and play, play a video game. I play video games to relax. Generally speaking, to relax. I have questioned at times if, like recently playing Dark Souls really counts as relaxing. I think generally it has been. There are certain bosses that have not been. Like yesterday, what was it, Manus? The boss from the DLC? He was anything but relaxing. But most of the others, it's like, okay. My thing with the Dark Souls games, to be fair, Heroes of Newerth is just Dota. It was well established. Yeah, maybe that's it. They spotted my non-Dota-ness, upon arrival. Yeah, my thing with Dark Souls, when I first played it, I first played Dark Souls 1, and I played it for like half an hour or so, and at the time I didn't get it. I didn't like it. So I just put it down. And I didn't get into the Souls games until Elden Ring came out. Elden Ring was actually my gateway. That was when I was like, oh, okay, now I kind of get it. And now I've been rewinding and playing the others. What I like about the Souls games is the... Uh-oh. What did you find? Golden egg. Oh, that's right. It's Easter. Yeah, or sweets. Sweets week. Yeah, we don't need those consumables. My thing with the Souls games is I like overcoming the adversity of them. I like being presented a challenge, die to the challenge, a couple of times, and then ultimately overcome it. As opposed to just, you know, face rolling everything. You know, I do stand by. There are bosses that in Souls games that I enjoy. I didn't get one. No, I thought you had one there, Jeff, because you were. Oh. Okay. You want a little help there? Oh, we need 2 nuts. Oh, okay. So, let's see. Did we... Okay, he already used that one. Okay, so we don't... So we only need the one that Jeff already picked up. I think I got it. Again, Jeff, I've been gone a long time, and I don't remember much of anything of this mission. I plead ignorance. Forgetful. Yeah, that too. It's my Sunday brain. I feel like I am measurably dumber on Sundays than I am on other days. No longer a Guild Wars 1 player. All that remains is Dark Souls. No, I think I mentioned the next. So I beat Dark Souls 1 yesterday. So next week I'm going to take a bit of a break from Souls. I'm going to go through Uncharted 2, I think. A little bit of a change of pace. Have a little, you know, goofy shooty adventure game. We'll see. First time chat from Lysic Silverblade. Welcome in. Game holds up. It does hold up, honestly. Also, let me know if I'm, you know, mispronouncing that. If it's Lysek or Lychek. I can never tell. Or some other version. But yeah, Guild Wars 1, you know, for all the other game, Guild Wars 1 is the game that I lived in the most. Now, having said that, I've also forgotten. I've clearly forgotten this mission. So, 2005. Well, and this is a thing that I kind of wish more games did, is just the stylization of it, of the graphics. There's always the big push, you know, for games to have the most realistic, you know, graphics possible. And I appreciate that as a challenge, as a technical challenge for the artists to achieve. But at the same time, you know, you're limited by the day's hardware, whatever it is. If you do an artistic interpretation of something, a more stylized look of a character, you know, like this, it's lower res, you know, hardware is easier, you know, it's easier for hardware to handle, and B, stylization adds longevity to a game, I feel. You know, there are games that came out, like on GameCube, that were starting to use, like, photos of people as textures, and at the time in 2000, it's like, wow, this is like the most realistic thing I've seen. You look at it now and it's like, well, it's just a scan of a person's face, super low res, because of course the texture resolution wasn't there. It's a scan of a person's face on a cube. It's not it doesn't hold up, you know. So more realistic than ever. Now on your Super Nintendo. Oh, there's a golden egg for me that I will not partake of. Oh, he's got deflect arrows on, so I can't do a whole lot to him. I think we need to get this guy. Okay, Vine over there. Oh shoot, did you grab a nut? Okay, together. Okay, so we need 2 nuts for this one. You're a scan of a person's face on a cube. Yeah, there we go. That's the new insults. Dude, you play the game like crap. Well, yeah, well, you know what? You're just a scan of a person's face. And they're like, what the hell are you even talking about? Oh, yeah, okay. You know, I should probably be interrupting his spells. But yeah, for the new people, welcome in. I play, you know, variety game stuff. I just finished Dark Souls yesterday, but Sundays are typically my Guild Wars days. Oops. Gonna let henchmen deal with all this stuff. All right, 2 nuts. Sundays is typically a Guild Wars day for me. I will periodically change it up. You know, I don't like being locked into it every week, but I'm currently playing. It's a bit of an Ironman challenge. There was a community Ironman challenge thing that started, you know, like 2 or 3 months ago, that I've been dragging my heels on. I'm kind of at the back of the line. All right, yep, that makes sense, because I can get my bow back. So the Iron Man is basically, I'm only using whatever items, weapons drop in the world. I'm not using storage. I can't buy anything from merchants, apart from like armor. Although I think I'm gonna do a self-imposed thing of only using armor collectors now until I get to Draknars. So that's kind of my loose idea now. I've been away from the game for a couple of weeks, so I'm just kind of finding my footing again. After I finish Guild Wars 2 story, might have to make a new character this just to go through it again. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I came back to this game like what, a year and a half ago? And I hadn't played it for like 10 years. You know, but just suddenly the feeling took me. It's like, you know what? I feel like playing Guild Wars. I haven't played Guild Wars in 10 years. I feel like playing that game again. You know what did it? I remember what did it. There were 2 things that happened kind of around the same time. One was Amazon's New World came out, which, you know, I bought and I played, and seemingly like a lot of other people, I enjoyed it up until level 25 or so. Then suddenly the overall meaninglessness of it really hit me. It's like, wait a minute, what am I even doing? What's the story? There's no real story. What is the point of this game? I'm just going in circles, doing the same things repeatedly. It got me thinking, what was the last time I really enjoyed like an RPG that like really lived in? And I've enjoyed quite a few of them, but honestly, Guild Wars was always at the top of the list. Just for longevity, honestly. You know, I played it the longest of any single game. The other thing that happened, and it happened right around the same time, was Josh Strife Hayes, who's you know, he's a streamer. He puts out a lot of videos on YouTube. He put out a YouTube video called Worst MMO Ever, Guild Wars 1. Now, the title, I admit, was a little inflammatory. What I didn't realize at the time was Worst MMO Ever was actually just the name of his web series that he was doing. He wasn't actually calling Guild Wars 1 the worst MMO. Quite to the contrary, when you watch that video, he had never played it before, so he was playing it for the first time. And it's really cool because he goes in and he's a little jaded. He's expecting this to not be very good. But over the course of half an hour of him, kind of fast forwarding through the story, you see him slowly falling in love with the game. And it was actually really pretty cool to see.
The souls of the unbelievers, for their stench will linger.
Your stench will linger. There we go.
False gods
Insult time.
cast from this world.
He didn't even get far either. He in that video, he didn't get far. He got into post-searing aspect. He got through the first mission, but he did continue to stream on Twitch, and he got.
Well, if it isn't our old friends. We thought you'd been killed by the shining blade.
I think he got up through the jungle before he stopped streaming it.
We're on to you, Hableon. Your days of murdering innocent people end here.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. If anyone ends here, it will be you.
It'll be you.
Get them!
Prepare to pay for your sins, Hableon.
Yeah, he hosted a number of Twitch live streams. Of him just playing the game. And yeah, I want to say he got up to the henchman. Oh yeah, henchman. You know what? That's fine. They'll get up here eventually. Yeah, he got up to, and he still speaks very highly of Guild Wars 1, and I believe he has finished the game. He just finished it offline because I think he got tired. Every time he would jump in, a lot of Guild Wars 1 people would jump in and try to join party with him and try to gift him stuff. And I think he was getting tired of that. He wanted to just, play the game normally, like a new player would. Which, honestly, I appreciate and understand. Besides, I think at the time he switched over to playing. I think he started playing a modded version of Skyrim that had. He had a really. I think the mod was called My Idiot Child, which was pretty funny. Let's see. Goes to audience pointing people. You're a scan. You're a scan. Sorry, I haven't... Oh, shoot. Oh, healing signal. I need to be interrupting that. Or we could just out-TPS them. Worst MMO Guild Wars. You know the meme with the two women and the cat at the table? Yeah. Oh, you just watched that video? Yeah, it's a great video. I go back and rewatch it every now and then myself.
Lost in the endless mists, never to find rest.
Jeff wants to skip the cinematic. I'll watch the... Although this one's kind of long, isn't it? This does have really comically bad voice acting in it, though, which I always kind of enjoy.
The White Mantle have been called once again to arms.
Oh, water.
There are betrayers among us. Those who would masquerade as our friends.
Bad voice acting? Are you kidding?
Burn and stab at our hearts.
Factions has the worst voice acting.
Received word that these traitors have murdered.
This guy's okay.
They must pay for this.
He's not very good.
My son. When these heathens attacked the White Mantle, they chose their fate. Now it is for us to deliver upon them what they have asked for. Kill them all! Yes, my son. We will mete out justice and take our vengeance. Leave no stone unturned. Find the betrayers. Find Hablion's killers. Kill them all.
Okay, that one I was wrong. That one wasn't as bad as I remembered. There are some painful lines though. The one that I always think of, chocolate bunny. Okay, I'm going to accept the chocolate bunny only to destroy it. Oh shoot, and I accidentally picked up a golden egg. I'm going to accept it and then trash it. Because I should not be having consumables. I shouldn't be having sugar. Interrupting skills reminds me of the old days, around factions at least. Doing Dragon Slayer mission, had to interrupt. Yeah, what was it? Was it Crystal Hibernation? I forget the exact skill you were supposed to interrupt for her. I don't remember if Tangled Seed. I don't think Tangled Seed is one that I need. Merchant. Oops. No. Although I should look at the skill trainer. Quests. Gareth Quickblade. We've been betrayed by one of our own. A traitor has given away the locations of the Shining Blade's bases throughout the region. In response to Hablion's death, they are launching a massive strike led by the Demagogue. Scouts have reported a vanguard comprising 3 groups. They're pushing towards Coral Falls. We must warn Counselor Valor outside Ventari's refuge. Oh, you're right. Oh, looks like Jeff's leaving. See you around, Jeff. Thanks for hanging out. Also quite interested to see things cutscene actually happen in the area you're in. Just copy a few things there out of reach. Already have all those quests finished and I'm parked in Aurora Glade. Alright. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Where am I? So I'm at Coral Falls. I'm gonna need to take a quick look because the collector armor stuff that I was talking about. There's one in Druid's Overlook, which I have access to. Edensback I'm not at yet. Oh, there's 2 in Edensback. 3! Okay. I'm going to go find the collector guy in Druid's Overlook. Hang on. Where is he? Well, you know what? I'm just going to go there and look. We'll find out. Let's see. Also add people in. And actually, do I have all the stuff for this guy? This guy is Spider Legs. I will get AR-61. What are gloves? Okay. So my gloves are currently 49. Yep. All right. Let's go get some clothes. Now, question is, I need to find where Tangled Seed Collector. I'm pretty sure that's not him. There is unexplored areas. What's funny is the wiki page isn't showing me exactly where he is, so I guess I'm going to have to explore. Which, honestly, I'm good with. I haven't had to actually randomly explore. Let's go this way. Oops. And I'm not in a super hurry either. I'm good to just cruise around. I will keep my name vision scan thing up, though. Remember having an irrational hatred for Maguma eras when I was young? Guess what? I still don't like them. I'm not a fan.
Citizen.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Lightick. Yeah, oops. I pushed I'm pushing bad buttons like off the stream. That's messing up my main stream. Yeah, it's funny. I keep saying that. It's like I don't like the jungle. And other people are like, "What? I love the jungle. It's my favorite place." I'm like, "You know what? Good for you. I'm glad. I'm happy you like the jungle. I do not. And I will not, you know. I'm not sure exactly why I don't like it. Well, I kind of do, actually. Part of it is just all the pop-up enemies, you know, that they just stop unit tracks. You've got to clear them out. I generally like being able to see when enemies going to come up. Now I know when I get to like the bamboo tree, clusters of bamboo trees, spiders are going to drop down if I'm too close. But the fever devourers, like the devourers, can pop up from anywhere. All right. What's this guy's name? I think his name is Mozra. I'm going on a little adventure. Yep, there's more. I just noticed I haven't even done Divinity Coast on one of my older characters. Apparently walked all the way to the wilds, Fen and Glade, without actually doing any of them. You know, I'm willing to bet if I looked... oh yeah, for the new people, this is also on a secondary account where I only have one other character that has completed the game. So I'm still actively unlocking a lot of stuff. But if I looked on my main account, I'm pretty sure that I would have at least one character that skipped the jungle entirely, that just went straight from Kryta, just ran to Sanctum K, and just bypassed the entire jungle. I should look. I bet you I've got multiple characters that are like that. Yeah, here's spiders. There's going to be a lot of spiders here. I get they are terribly annoying for the Vanquisher titles. Other least favorite zones, yeah. The city in factions is another one. Not too many people like that. I think there's generally more consensus with people not liking the city. The faction city. That seems to be a much more universal thing in general. There are still a few people out there that like it, but not as many. I feel like the jungle is kind of a 50-50 split of people who like and don't like, whereas the city is more like 80-20, you know, of people who don't like it. Those are not scientific numbers at all. That's just my impression of what I feel people say. Okay, Sarah, welcome in. I'm not using heroes. I am not. This is my Ironman character, and the Ironman challenge originally it was not even use henchmen. It was gonna be just people party up, you know, join up with other people. But everyone got so scattered, a lot of people quit. It's kind of hard to get, you know, people together. Certainly not a full team of people. So I'm back and I'm officially embracing henchmen. Now, question is, what happens when I get to Nightfall and I do get to Heroes? What I'm thinking I'll do there is play it as Nightfall was originally released, which means originally you were only allowed to take 3 heroes with you. So I think I'm probably going to do that. And there are places in Nightfall where you're required to take heroes with you. You know, there's certain quests you have to take them with you. To be honest, not using henchmen. Yeah. Using henchmen, yes, using henchmen does make the game harder. Especially when as opposed to heroes. Heroes, you can dial them up, you know, and have all these, use all these crazy builds and everything. Henchmen, you've got to deal with the less than optimalness of them. I can't just equip a minion master, you know, and minion master through everything. Now that's going to be sorely tempting, you know. Once I do have access to heroes, is okay. I'm going to have a minion master now. Oh wait, there's another. Oh, Devour, yeah. That would actually be a big challenge. Is to do Nightfall with only 1 hero ever, or do it with henchmen and only use a hero when a hero is specifically required, like one of the story heroes. That'd be hard. Oh, that'd be really hard. All right. Well, let's see. So I'm going to go back. There's a whole area over here. I'm going to warp back because it'll be faster, less pop-ups. Yeah, some heroes are required. Amount of times my friends group used to rage at Orion specifically. We all have those particular heroes we love to either love or hate. Elysia gets a lot of hate, but honestly, she's not all that bad. She can be bad, you know, if she's running in to like heal a tank, she'll charge up to the front line. That can be bad. What I noticed with Elysia more is the AI knows she's a healer, so they target her first, I feel. I don't know that they know she's specifically a healer so much as she has the lowest armor of the group. Well, caster armor, so she tends to get beaten up a bit more because of it. Oh, they're actually hurting me. I should probably interrupt. Okay, this road leads me back. Is there still somebody there? There is. All right. Alicia tanking everything. Yeah, I feel usually she's trying to heal, but she does get herself into situations that are. Do I go investigate L1 Kirby? I don't. No. L1 Kirby is not the NPC I'm looking for. Hang on. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Did I just do something stupid? You guys want to know how stupid I am? This is a perfect example. I talk about Sunday brain. This is classic Sunday brain for me. The NPC is not out in the world. The NPC is literally in the outpost. Somewhere. Yep, there he is. Spent all that time exploring around. Oh well. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Alicia's supposed to be tanking, right? We all tank in our own way. I'm a big fan of Ranger tanking myself. All right, so I have my first 61 armor. Let's see what I can pull off. Armor or oh, it's gonna let me go after both of them. Yeah, let's see if we can put the insignia on. You can put insignia on collector armor, apparently. So noted. Oh, actually, can I salvage these? Yes, I can. Cool. This is fine, yeah. Remember running a 55 monk and wrecking things solo. That was fun when you could do it, yeah. You can still do it in a few areas. They did nerf a lot of areas, though. Underworld specifically. Alright, well, I guess... Actually, hang on. Before I leave... Do I have any... So that's Quarrel Falls. I do have Crichton stuff to do. Undead Hordes. Holy Veil, Symbiosis. Mysterious Message. You know what? I kind of feel like... Oh, I never got Temple of Ages. Shame on me. I kind of feel like trying to do Undead Hordes, honestly. Although I would think I'm probably going to want... Not sure. I think Ignite will be a little bit more useful here. Besides, I kind of want to finish out the Crichton stuff a little bit. Now, having said that, I don't know about going and doing Villainy of Galrath. Although that's kind of tempting too, honestly. Oh, right. So bleeding... That's right. Bleeding is not a thing. I saw my old monk Necro used to farm Duo Underworld way back. Never farmed enough for a single obsidian. I was thinking about that earlier. It's like, there's a part of me that wants to go for obsidian armor, but not actually farm all the stuff myself. Not, you know, not buy shards or ecto. First time chat from Synth 4x93. Welcome in. Get the fire imp out. Nope. I'm doing this the hard way. This is the spirit of Ironman compels me to. Oh shoot, we've got a lot of guys coming in. To do this as hard as possible. Okay. We need to go after the monk. Now, having said that... Oh, yeah, okay, I do have Orion with me. Good. The extra AoE of the imp would be helpful here, but I am trying to do this the hard way. Iron Man sounds like a fun challenge. Been thinking about trying it. Yeah, there's a number of... There was a community Iron Man thing that was going a couple of months ago, and I'm kind of at the tail end of it. A lot of people have, you know, stopped, you know, quit, or they've either really fast forward and they've gone really far ahead. Oops. So I'm kind of in the middle, well, middle of prophecies on my own. And
I love you, random citizen.
Oh, thank you for the follow there, Synth. Oh, there's Alicia. Alicia's tanking. Alicia's tanking. Oh yeah, look at her go. There's, yeah, and there she went. Okay. We got to see some classic Alicia tanking there. Uh-oh, Claude's down. Oh, shoot. Right. We need to get their back line here.
I'm in danger.
I am in danger. But honestly, this... Oh, no. Okay, she's down. And this time she's down hard. And I'm in danger. Very much in danger. What the... Oh, okay. Oh, someone else got her up.
28 stab wounds.
It's starting to get real here. I'm not going to worry about getting Stefan up. Oh, I will worry about my pet though, because that'll hurt. But wait, there will be more. Yeah, I am not... Okay, I need to be watching their back line, clearly. It's like, okay, we're not dead yet. Okay, the more's coming in. We need to go for their monk again. You're here. Oh, I didn't see which one you got. The I'm here redeem, it spawns a random... a random little animation. Oh, well, hang on. Zombie Warlock. I want the Warlock down. Okay, got him. And did I hear... Yeah, Alicia's down. Okay, that's trouble. Come on, Alicia. Honestly, this is the stuff I enjoy. Is just the barely... No, okay, I didn't enjoy that. the barely holding on. By the skin of your teeth struggle. Now, Elysia, you gotta heal yourself. And get to the back. Yep. There she goes again. Okay, here. If I can get rid of this Wraith. Because the Wraith is causing problems. Yeah. Stefan, can you hang out for a little bit? Oh shoot, my pet is actually doing a lot of the tanking. Everything's fine. It's all fine. We're all good. Now my pet's down. Oh, we're in kind of bad shape here. Grasping ghouls. Come on, Elysia, we need to get everyone up. Okay, Necrid Horseman. You know what? You know what? We need to back up and use these guys. This is going to be too big. Recently learned Frozen Soil Spirit doesn't prevent you from resurrecting your pets. Yeah. Okay, I'm going after the Oh, and there's also a Bone Dragon and a damn Cleric. Okay. Oh, well, if the damn Cleric is going to run away... This has been stressful. I mean, good stressful. It's been fun. I like pet tanks. Mine's often the last survivor when the whole group. Yeah. Oh, Alicia's about to go down again. But no matter. We did it. Let's see if Orion dies from that poison. Nope. Claude. Just for the spirit of solidarity, I'm going to get everyone up before we go back into town. Leave no one behind. Now I actually get some skills off of that. Holy Veil and Symbiosis, I'm not planning on using them at all, but hey, I will get a few skill unlocks, so. All right. Yep, Claude died. Not only did Claude die, I had to abandon him. I had to, you know, run back and let the Lion Guard help me out. Things got kind of rough there. I'm kind of wishing I had swapped out Hunter Shot for Dual Shot, actually. For the sake of maybe getting a little more of the fire AoE. But, oh well. We did it. Alright, so there's that one. Do I attempt Villainy of Galrath? You know what? I will let chat decide. You guys can hold my fate in your hands. Yes, no. Put it up for 2 minutes. A yes vote means I will attempt to do Villainy of Galrath. Now, having said that, I will need to get to Temple of Ages first, so that'll be a bit of a run. A no vote will mean I continue in the jungle. So, and I shall abide by... The name Claude always reminds me of Jean-Claude Van Ram from Fairly Odd Parents. That is certainly the only Jean-Claude that I can think of. I imagine... Okay, Villainy of Galrath has 4 votes. It's looking like that's going to be the thing. Well, actually, while waiting for that, let me... Oh, that's right. I've got a chocolate bunny here that I need to trash. Because no sweets, no consumables. And also, I'm going to look and see. So, for armor stuff, I need these, the thorny things. White mantle emblems, I don't have any of yet. And Meguma mains, which I do have. This other stuff can be sold. Except for... The helm. Ancient Eyes are the helm. Okay. So all this other stuff can be sold. Looks like. So it is unanimous. I'm going to do Villainy of Galrath. All right. I'm good with that. Gets me out of the jungle for a bit. I know. If I want to truly be out of the jungle, I should just bite the bullet and finish it. But so I can get rid of this stuff. Make room. All right, Bergen. Expedition. Will you do missions for the anniversary event next Sunday? That's right, anniversary. I was thinking I do quite like the expertise sword for Ranger, and I would love to get it. I would not be able to do it on this character, but I was thinking maybe... Uh-oh, Jeff, did you pin something? I was thinking maybe... I don't know how this works, how the anniversary weapons work. If you do the anniversary event on a different character and you trade the item, was it the Proof of Courage or Proof of Triumph or whatever it was, for one of the weapons, is that tradable or does it customize that weapon for that character when you initially turn it in? Because I would love to get that expertise sword. I certainly cannot do it on this character for Ironman. And also because this character doesn't have the world traveling ability yet. Yeah, I don't know. If I could get it like on my Monk Warrior character and then like toss it in storage so that this character, once this character is done with all the Iron Man stuff, it'd be there for her to pick up, then I would probably do it. Weapons are always customized to the character that gets the weapon. Proof of Legends can be gotten with every character and then used. Oh, that's true. So I could get the Proof of Legend, toss that in storage, so it would be available for this character. But still, I wouldn't be able to turn in the Proof of Legend until the next anniversary. Probably. Which would be fine. You know, I'm okay with that. All right. So, Villainy of Galrath. So, this is going to start as an expedition to the Temple of the Ages. which I've... You know what? You know what? Wait, no. No, 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 no. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this the old school way. Well, not super old school. Hang on. Let me, let's see. Ranger, Iron, so far. I mean, it's not great, but I want to be able to easily swap it out. I'm going to try and run. I'm going to see if I can run this. So I've got dodge. Do I have Storm Chaser yet? I do not have Storm Chaser. I'll bring along Throw Dirt, Whirling Defense. How do I want to organize this? So run there. I could bring a pet to use as a sacrificial thing. I don't want to do that because that feels like bad pet ownership, honestly. You could turn it in now and put the weapons somewhere into your storage. Yeah, but what you're saying is if I turn it in, what I was thinking is if I turned it in on my monk character so I could get the weapon, it would then customize it for my monk, though, which would be the issue. You have to get at least to the desert if you want to get all the proofs with this one character, since you can only get one proof per area. Oh. Right. So, yeah, I'm clearly not getting to the desert by next Sunday. Unless I did Guild Wars like next Saturday as well, then I certainly could. I kind of don't want to. I feel like I've already committed to doing Uncharted 2 next Saturday. Let's see. Let's see. What do I have here? Versatile Fortune is probably good. So I don't need marksmanship at all. I need maximum expertise. I don't need any beast. As high as wilderness will go. And then I don't have Healing Breeze. Basic healing, I guess. Although, honestly, you know what? Let's just do it all in protection, and I'll lean on Reversal of Fortune. All right, this is an experiment. Oh, do I have a off staff? I do not have a staff, a run staff, or running equipment. Well, let's see what happens. At this point, what is Guild Wars at this point, if not for the silly challenges, you know? Oh, wait, it helps to leave the party. All right. Now, again, you know, I consider this iron running, if I can do it, because it's not cheating. I'm still using the skills that I have thus far acquired in the progression of the game. So this is legal. Oh, shoot. I do need to be very, very careful, though. It's not necessarily going to be running so much as a light jog with periodic sprints. That horseman makes me nervous. Like, here's a spot where I'm going to have to run. Going for it. Basically, strategic dashes is what this is. Okay, this one, these two groups are going to be tough. Oh, and the Skeleton Rangers have... Do they have pinned down? I forget. What I find a little bit sad, though, is that while most weapons work perfectly fine with their new attribute, daggers still need dagger mastery for double attacks. Do they now? I don't really remember the weapons. I remember the expertise sword, and there was a... Was it critical hit, critical strikes bow? Those were the only two that kind of spoke to me. All right. This is probably going to be bad. Ooh, it's bad. Oh, no, not too bad. Not too bad. All right, Cursed Lands. If I can make it to the Black Curtain, I think I'll be able to do it. The trick is getting through the Cursed Lands, I think. And watching out for Grasping Ghouls. And Zombie Warlocks. We're probably going to have friends that I won't be able to de-aggro. Yep. All right, well. I'm going to try and dash down here. Shoot. That did not work. All right, well. Hopefully I can somewhat ranger tank through this. I don't know that I'm feeling particularly good about this. Oh, shoot. Nope. Bad, bad, bad. If anyone gets a cripple on me, I'm done. Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to be done. Yeah. Quick, quick. Get the juice. Get the juice. Whoo. All right. Risky, very risky. See, now, ordinarily on a run like this, I would have both... Hey, Mythical Monkey, welcome in. I'd have both Dodge and Zojin's Haste, or Escape, or something, but... Or Storm Chaser, honestly. You know, a secondary run skill of some sort. That was why it was wild. I thought for sure that I was dead. If I recall, I think that's actually the hardest part of the run. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of poison here in the Black Curtain, but it's, you know, my troll juice ought to overcome that pretty easily. There was a reversal of fortune in there that came in clutch. You know, I was dead, and then suddenly I took a lot of. I got a nice heal. I think this water is poison. But again, it's not a huge concern. Who do we have over there? Okay. Ooh, there's pinned down. Okay. Well. Well, fortunately, apart from crippling me, they don't do a whole lot, so. Oh, spined aloe, get away. Also, that pin down shouldn't have gotten through dodge. Oops. Well, okay, it got through dodge. Okay, you know what? Fine. Nope, not fine. Not fine. Not good. Alright, alright, alright. Beware the skeleton men. Hey, Halson, welcome in. I'm attempting to do something silly. Okay, and I can see where TOA is. It's right there. I'm back on the Ironman challenge. I did the Bloodstone Fen mission earlier with Jeff, but then I noticed I still had 1 or 2 Crichton quests. One of which is Villainy of Galrath, and I had a little bit of a vote, and people want to see me do, and I kind of want to do Villainy of Galrath myself as well, so that's what I'm going to try to do. But first, I don't have Temple of Ages outpost, so I'm attempting to do an iron run. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, I had taken a break from Guild Wars for a couple of weeks because the Iron Man, I wasn't really feeling in the mood for Iron Man for a couple of weeks. But then I also started having some internet troubles. I wasn't able to stream very well. I couldn't stream anything for like 2 weeks. Oh shoot. Really? Shoot. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Okay. But yeah, now I'm back. I'm feeling a little more invigorated. And honestly, I like silly, stupid challenges like this. As I mentioned before, ordinarily on a run build, I would have 2 running skills. At least 2 running skills. But since this is iron, I do not yet have access to any. And now that I know the bow, the skeleton archers can cripple me, I'm just going to try to avoid them as much as possible. Haven't touched Guild Wars 1 in months. Yeah. I forget, Holson, did you join in on the Iron Man thing at all, or were you just watching from the shadows? Nope, you're just watching. Okay. That's cool. When I first heard about it, I was originally a little bit on the fence about it, but then decided, you know, why not? Okay. I pretty much have to run through this group. Okay, sweet. That time they did not cripple me. I guess pin down was just, you know, dodge is not guaranteed to block arrows, but... Oh no. No, 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 no. No! Oh shoot. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Get the run so I can de-aggro. Yep, there we go. Last stuff you did... Oh, Vanquishing. Oh, okay. I seem to remember hearing a lot of people didn't really care for Vanquishing. Honestly, I loved Well, I don't want to say I loved... I loved Vanquishing most areas. There are certain zones that I really did not enjoy. Oops, I don't need to heal. I can just dash from here. It was one of the unique things to Guild Wars that, you know, you wouldn't have been able to do in other, you know, MMO-ish games because of the instancing. So I always kind of appreciated it as a unique thing. And here I am at Temple of Ages. Depends on the zone, exactly. Wanted the map's golden, but got burned out. Yeah, getting burned out on Guild Wars is very much a thing. Like I mentioned, I was feeling a little while ago. I wasn't feeling great, so I took a self-imposed break. Let's see. Party up. And, oh yeah, that's right. The whole point of TOA is it's a party of 8. Ended up vanquishing the entire desert in one night. A lot of booze involved that one day. I remember the desert. I forget the name of the map. It's one of the ones with sandrakes in it. There was always one sandrake somewhere. To be honest, I was working on 3 or 4. That'll really get the burnout going. I usually only ever worked on one character at a time. Where's my... Yeah, Villainy of Galrath selected. Okay, cool. So, how did I usually go? I think I usually went around this way. Oops. Looking at the clock, realizing it's like, oh wow, Villainy of Galrath might actually end up taking up the rest of my stream time. Oh, and we've got guys. I always liked Villainy of Galrath, honestly, and Althea's Ashes for the same reason. Both of those quests very much feel like expeditions. These are big things that we're going out to do, you know. Or this is going to take a long time to do. Now you're playing World of Warcraft only. For titles, I only did one character, unless it was for Lightbringer. Those titles give you character benefits. Tried to get a few ranks on most characters. Yeah, exactly. I only ever maxed out, I think, all the character titles on my Ranger, my original Ranger. You know, all my other characters have, you know, varying degrees of completion on those. Oh, well, I guess we're fighting. I was hoping we'd be able to sneak by, but apparently not. Addictive game. You know what? When I started playing this, I think I mentioned before, when I very first started playing this, I had the choice between World of Warcraft or Guild Wars. I hadn't played anything like either of them before. I wasn't sure. All I knew was that I wanted some new RPG game. And I kind of waffled back and forth on both of them for quite a while before I finally settled on Guild Wars. Why are there so many bog scale here? It's a lot of bog scales. Huh. And I started playing Guild Wars. I enjoyed it until sometime in post-searing. The burnt-out husk of Ascalon got me depressed enough to a point where I was like, you know what, this is kind of a bummer. And I put it down for a little while. As it turned out, the point that I put it down, I was like one quest away from making it to the Shiver Peaks, to where I would have had a change of scenery. But yeah, once I got out of Ascalon, once I got to the northern Shiver Peaks, then I was hooked. You know, and I played it pretty much solid for 5 or 6 years. Man. This is... I do not remember there being this many bog scale around here. World of Warcraft to you is addictive. Yeah. I think that was ultimately where I landed on Guild Wars. It wasn't a... You know, either game would have been an experiment for me. And at the time, I liked the idea of an experiment that wouldn't cost me a monthly subscription. So I figured it's like Guild Wars was the easier one to sell myself on in that respect. That and the box had a really cool like little fold-out cover where when you looked on the inside it had a cool picture of a ranger, you know, shooting at a bone dragon. And that picture was staged very cinematically, but it was clearly an in-game picture too. I was like, okay, yeah, that picture is exactly what I want to play. I want to be a ranger, you know, shooting at dragons, you know. Never forgave the char, so naturally your main in Guild Wars 2 was a char. Yeah, when I played Guild Wars 2, I had one of each. Although, honestly, I could not get into the Sylvari. I really didn't. I did not care for the Sylvari at all. You're a ranger, Mr. Streamer. And I enjoyed Guild Wars 2 for a time, but it didn't have the staying power with me that Guild Wars 1 did. It was cool to be able to, you know, do events with other people, but at the same time, I could never shake the feeling that I was unimportant in Guild Wars 2. Because there's always, you know, 20 other people, you know, there. It didn't really matter if I was in an event or not, because they would also be doing it and they would see it through. Whereas Guild Wars 1, it's like you're the only one to do the thing. You go out in an instance, you're alone, it's up to you to survive. I always liked that aspect better. Still do, honestly. Downside with World of Warcraft is the subscription, yeah. Oh, I gained a level. A little more marks. Yep, this way. Should be a pack of Minotaurs up here. Yep. Oh, he blocked my bleeding arrow. Oh, I realized I never put on prepared shot. I'm still rocking the defensive, was it Beetleton? Build. Oh well. I mean, it gives a little bit of AoE. It's fine. To put the 10 to 12 USD a month in perspective, it's one lunch takeout, less pizza. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, if I'm playing a game and it has a monthly subscription. I was always going to measure the cost of the subscription against the level of enjoyment I would get out of similar media. So it's like $10 a month. Okay, well that's a movie ticket. Now the trick is a movie ticket only buys you 2 hours of entertainment. Whereas a monthly sub, $10 for a monthly subscription, you're getting an entire month's worth of a video game you like. So I did end up paying for a monthly subscription to 1 or 2 games later on that I enjoyed playing. But I also never ended up playing them for too long before I got a little burned out, so. Buying a game plus paying to also play it. Yeah, that... I was never a huge fan of that, of buying the box and then also paying a subscription. If it was just pay a subscription, that's an easier sell for me now. And I feel like for a lot of people, the way video games have gone these days with having, microtransactions for cosmetics or power boosts or whatever, and then also, some games will also have a monthly subscription. Some games, it's a straight up monthly subscription like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy, but there are others that will mask it by having a battle pass system. Which, true, you don't need to buy the battle pass. But boy, do they, pull out all the psychological tricks, to try to get you into buying the battle pass. An example. My brother and I, when we played co-op, one of the games we would play sometimes in co-op would be Genshin Impact. Now, Genshin Impact, honestly, is a well-made game. The action, the combat of it, the adventuring is good. It's well executed. But the free-to-play aspect of it, I mean, it's free to play, you can download it, you can start playing, but the gacha system of it always makes you feel like you're missing out. Oh, man, I just lost my pet. It always makes you feel like you're missing out if you're not buying into the battle pass or not buying currency to buy new characters. For the most part, I was pretty good at avoiding the pull of that, of spending money on the game. But there was one thing I wasn't good at avoiding. Oops. World of Warcraft today is 80 US only. Oh man. Oh shoot, and I have not been watching my pet. So the thing with Genshin that got to me was... I'm gonna get my pet back. You want to have this premium currency to roll for new characters when they come up. Now, in order to do... There are a number of ways to do that. You can, of course, just buy the currency outright with money. But you can also earn it in-game, which I appreciate. But the earning in-game is based on doing daily quests. And they're not hard quests. They don't take long. And you don't get a whole lot for it, but you got to log in every day. You got to do it every day, to stockpile enough of this stuff. And at some point, I realized, it's like, you know what? I feel like I'm being held hostage. By not wanting to pay money, it was in the back of my head always, I gotta make sure to log into Genshin and do this thing so I can get the free stuff. And that's not unique to Genshin. MOBA games have that, all over the place. But that was, one of the first games where I really felt that, and I honestly got to really resent it. And it took me quite a while to break out of that. I did finally, get out of it. Partly because the Genshin Impact, the story of it, is really, I don't want to say it's hard to follow. It's a slog to follow. There's so much talking, so much redundancy, so much banter that just really irritated me, that I didn't feel like keeping up with it anymore. Wanted to try it, but didn't. Genshin, it's good, but you gotta have your mental defenses up for it. Same with World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy. World of Warcraft, you pay for free to level 20, and Final Fantasy is free to 60. Yeah, I'd heard about World of Warcraft. I didn't remember hearing about Final Fantasy being free to 60, but that's pretty cool. I've considered trying to get into Final Fantasy. I think I tried to do a demo of it a while back, and there was something about it I didn't really care for. Movement felt a little weird, or attacking felt a little weird. I don't know, it just didn't quite grab me. Not sure why, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? If it's not grabbing me, it's not grabbing me. I don't need to pursue it. If it's not of current interest to me. I do sometimes feel like I'm missing out because I'll still hear other people like, oh man, did you hear about the new update in Final Fantasy? I'm like, no. Hey Andrina, welcome in. How you doing today? I'm finally back in Guild Wars, and chat voted for me to do Villainy of Galrath, so here I am. And I'm doing this on my Ironman character. And I forgot to remove Ignite Arrows, sadly. Similar to World of Warcraft, sounds like. World of Warcraft nowadays, you have tokens. You can basically buy game time for in-game gold. Or to get that, you have to pay with gold instead of US. Yeah, and you need to pay a lot, yeah. Finally, Guild Wars. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try to return to Guild Wars Sundays. I'm... So many pop-up enemies. I always forget that this first area of Kessex Peak is a bit of a slog. This stuff, pop-up enemies, is one of my least favorite things in Guild Wars. Okay, so I'm not going to move for a moment so I can actually properly talk. I'm going to try and get back to Guild Wars Sundays. I can't guarantee that it'll be every Sunday. What I may do is like alternate, like every other Sunday be Guild Wars. Because I do have a number of like short little games that I might want to put on Sundays. Like I've got Dragon's Lair 2. I kind of wanted to play a little bit. I was thinking maybe that next weekend. Largely depends on how I was feeling about today. But today, I'm actually enjoying Guild Wars today, so I might continue. That, and I am feeling like I want to hurry up and get past the jungle. But I want to do Galrath first, so... Oh yeah, immune to bleeding. Because the jungle always felt like a bit of a slog to me. But once I get to the desert, I feel like things pick back up in the desert. I enjoy the desert a lot more. Generally speaking, I should say. No multitasking. Yeah. You know, it could, not with a game like Dragon's Lair. I remember when I was playing the first one a couple weeks ago. That game's flipping intense, man. Even with the prompts, it was rough. But you're right, Guild Wars 1 is, I don't want to say casual enough. It's not quite action-y enough to where, yeah, you could certainly be doing something else alongside it. I think that's also part of the reason I got into Guild Wars originally, was that it wasn't so taxing that I couldn't also be working at the same time, you know? Okay, I'm not picking up the well, I mean, I did pick it up, but I'm not using the consumables because this is Iron Man. Oh, I'm finally through the swamp. Yay. Oh, and Minotaurs. Oh, well, if we've got Minotaurs coming in, they like to crowd. I can maybe get a little bit of AoE. Except they're running around too much. Oh well. Minotaurs blocking arrows. Alright. Moving on. Minotaurs. Can I avoid? I think I can avoid those guys. Tram, can't sleep. Think about getting up from bed. I'm sorry you can't sleep. It's always a bit of a bummer. Slept all day again. That'll do it. I can never sleep during the day, at least not effectively. I might be able to get a nap in, like... And now we've got a million Minotaurs, because of course we do. And a Fen Troll. We aggroed everybody in town. How many did we get? I forget that there's a lot of patrols that all kind of converge here. Okay. We're coming out of it. It'll be okay. Alright, henchman, you can handle that last Minotaur, right? How many? All of them. Yeah, probably. No, there's one group back there. There's one group still going. And then there's this group up here. And I picked up that chocolate bunny. Yeah, I did. I dropped that. Oh yeah, stream elements. Yeah, so I finished Dark Souls 1 yesterday. So next weekend, next Saturday, I'm planning to start Uncharted 2. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn on Tuesday nights. I'm going through the DLC, the Frozen Wilds DLC on that one. I think I'm about halfway through that. Once I finish that, I'll... Holy... What? All these spined aloes right here? Good grief. Alright. Once I finish Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm going to switch over to A Plague Tale on Tuesday nights, I think. Sundays will still be Guild Wars and or, you know, other random small things. I don't know exactly what... I probably will just do Guild Wars next week. At some point, I will... do like a Dragon's Lair 2 or something, you know, on and off. But I'll try to never, you know, delay Guild Wars more than, you know, 1 week off or something. Watching a YouTube channel lately called Uncharted X. Amazing channel if you're into history. I do enjoy history and stuff. I do not know of that particular channel. I'll have to check it out. I do not remember there being this many spined aloes. I thought there were like half as many. Alright, there's Galrath up there. Galrath and the bandits aren't typically the problem with this quest, though. Typically the problem are these guys. All of Verada's henchmen. But if you can get them individually, in individual groups, I think they're not necessarily all that bad. Especially if you're not relying on minion mastery. Because they'll steal your minions if you let them. And also, oh, and there goes Elysia. As is custom. It's a guy who shows the real history, commercial media. Oh, unlike the stuff that gets most views. Yeah, there's the whole social media-ization of media is not great. Media, especially like the 24-hour news channels, they go after, you know, they'll typically go after, you know, what gets the most views, because of course they want to get commercial, that's how they get their money, is from the commercial advertising, by drawing in viewers. You draw in viewers with the more sensational stuff. Not necessarily the stuff that's actually news. Actual news is can be generally kind of dry, honestly. Or I feel, it probably should be, you know. The minute I see a news story that feels very sensational, that people are, like, the reporter or commentators getting very emotionally invested and up in arms, I'm like, okay, that's usually a good sign that you need to take a step back and take a look at the story, because they're selling something here and it's not the news. So you might understand I don't trust most media. I think there is media to be trusted. I do think it's worth double checking stuff. I wouldn't necessarily... I mean, this guy that you're talking about on YouTube, I don't know of him or anything, and he might very well be great. I'm a little reluctant to take the word of guy on the internet, you know, over other sources. Having said that, it would be a worthwhile cross-check, I feel. You know, if I'm having questions about something, I like to try to see, it's like, well, what are the wire services saying about this stuff? Because the more commentatory the reporting the less, I feel the less accurate it's going to be. The more inflammatory it's going to be, generally speaking. And that's something news organizations really realized, like back in the 90s and early aughts, was they realized, oh, we don't need to sell news. We need to sell the emotional connection. We need to sell outrage. We need to sell, you know, we need to sell feeling, you know, and it's, again, it's like, that's not news. That's social media. That's manipulation, you know. News of true history have been put down. This guy working, 2 other guys. Media silencing, and ends up. It's huge subject to talk about. I'm interested to see. I will have to go and look at this source and see what they're doing. I'm interested to see what their takes are. I'm always a little worried about. Did I actually clear these groups? I mean, there's more groups over there, but they're far enough away. I think I'm safe. Huh, okay. I worry about buzzwords like, we're the ones telling the truth. I mean, of course, everyone wants to say that. But, oops, yeah, I got it interrupted. Okay. And nobody else can be trusted. But that's also a dangerous... There's nothing to stop people from saying that. They've got to be able to back it up. You know, if they can back up everything with actual stuff, then great. You know, that's awesome. But we've had a lot. Oop, interrupted. We've had a lot of problems with people saying you can only trust me. You can't trust other people. You can't trust your eyes. You don't just trust what I'm saying. It's like, no, that's cult leader stuff. When you start saying stuff like that's cult leader shit. And I'm not good with that. I had a Crichton key. Anyway. One of them, Graham Hancock, amazing guy. Most media have banned him. A lot of his videos are closed down and removed. Okay, I don't recognize his name. But yeah, like I said, I'll look it up and see what's going on. I was thinking about this the other day. Oh, and actually, meanwhile in the background, Villainy of Galrath completed. Back in the 90s, my wife and I, we really enjoyed the X-Files as a series. We never thought of it as more than entertainment. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, well, all this conspiracy theories around UFOs or urban legends, you know, all that stuff. My wife and I always regarded it as a bit of, oh, it's just a little harmless, you know, a little harmless fantasy, a little harmless, you know, narrative stuff. Now looking back, okay, I'm not doing Menlo's Quest. Looking back at the X-Files, the way the X-Files was received, and also the JFK movie when it came out, I've got this really uncomfortable feeling that it popularized the conspiracy theory. It popularized, oh, because you're not hearing this from, you know, it popularized the saying that this is the stuff that, you know, they don't want you to know. And I keep seeing this all over, like, the internet and everything. You know, people will say, these are the things that they don't want you to know. Well, who's A? You need to define they. You need to bring facts to the table. You need to back this up. also know that I'm going to want to go check out their side of the story too, you know, and see, you know, try to ascertain what's going on. I don't want to take any one person's point of view for granted for truth. All right, I'm not doing weapons. I'm not doing weapon stuff. I feel there. The problem, oh god, there's stuff I'm uncomfortable talking about. So you get into the whole saturation of media. It used to be, you know, you had like the 3 main networks, you know, or 4 networks. You had someone like Walter Cronkite. Here's the guy. I'm going to tell the news. I'm not going to try to spin it. You know, there are maybe some editorial decisions that did spin it, but it was more or less relatively straight reporting. We don't get that anymore. Everything has got to be... all the reporting's got to be designed to get an emotional response. Savage Shot, I don't have unlocked. Well, shoot, I'm going to unlock that. Anyway. The same thing about him is that he's the only person whose Wikipedia is locked and controlled by group... What the hell? Sounds like some crazy stuff going on around these guys. Again, I'm not saying anything one way or another about these guys because I don't know either of them. I am saying, however, that I am interested to take a look and see what their stories are. All right, so I'm back in the jungle. I have another half hour or so. So yeah, let's knock out this little side quest, and also let's actually have some henchmen in the party for one. I know what you mean. They ate a group of hidden people who controls the world. Yeah. It's, you know, it's othering. You know, there's always some, you know, hidden or malevolent they that, you know, the word they is always used. What did I say? I was going to go in and get henchmen, and I didn't. I immediately turned around and came right back outside. I'm very easily distracted. You know, when people start using othering terms like that, that's another big red flag for me. You know, that whoever this person is that's using these words like they, if they're using it to diminish it, to minimize, to villainize, you know, another group of people, it becomes a shorthand for trying to get you, the viewer, to instinctively distrust anything that this other group of people are saying. You know, it's a propaganda playbook thing that the minute I start hearing those words, you know, my ears start pricking up. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You're using some key words here that have troubling history, you know, troubling historical use here. So the way words like that have been employed. So that means that I'm going to want to scrutinize what you're saying a little bit here. I don't want to take anything at face value here. I always like, there's something everybody has the fantasy. Keywords, time for the lockpick lawyer. I always had this thing, when I went through college, we had a critical thinking class. And I was stunned after having that class. It's like, why is critical thinking not a core element of our education system? I feel that needs to be taught like junior high level, you know, or something. Why was this a college elective? And, you know, because like looking around and seeing the number of people, just even within my personal life, not using basic critical thinking skills. And I myself fall victim to it. It's like, you know, I'll look back at something I did or said. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know what? I kind of failed my critical thinking test there. Talking subject, most people don't want to talk about it here. Yeah. Which I think I can go this, or do I might need to go around that southern loop. You know what? I don't know. I'm just gonna cruise. But yeah, you know, with people who have like, you know, if I was running the country fantasies, it's like, well, not to get political because I don't have, you know, the political. I want to avoid politics. But one of my things would be like, okay, Department of Education, you guys need to introduce critical thinking somewhere in basic curriculum. Because we've got a lot of people that are really not really failing the basics of that. And it's disheartening to see. Having said that, I should actually go have a refresher on it myself. You know, learn all the tactics that everyone tries to use on you, like straw man arguments and things like that. Attacking the speaker instead of addressing the subject. And because creative thinkers isn't the main goal for schools, seemingly. Yeah, there's been a lot of ink written on that, that's for sure. Humans need to be taught to think for themselves instead of thinking what media tells. Yeah. Well, and critical thinking hurts commercialism in general. Do you want a viewer of your channel to critically think about whether they need this product that is being hosted in your, you know, that is sponsoring your show? Like, let's say just for fun, think for themselves. Problem there is vast majority of people are stupid. Yeah. What was the old George Carlin joke? It's like, imagine how stupid the average person is and realize half the population is more stupid. It's like, that it makes you hurt. But I was going to say, just as a fun experiment, let's imagine this channel, my channel that I'm on. Let's imagine that I was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, of all things. I am not, and this is kind of a joke because of how pervasive, you know, Raid Shadow Legends was, you know, months ago or a year ago or whatever that was. You know, if I'm playing a game, you know, do you want people to watch your commercial for Raid Shadow Legends? And, you know, as a commercial advertiser, of course, you want to sell the product. You want to sell this game. Hey, we want to say that Raid Shadow Legends is a really cool game and you should play it. But at the same time, you don't want people to know about all of the cool tricks that you're playing on them as an advertiser to get people to buy into your game. I look at myself, you know, when I mentioned earlier, when I bought Guild Wars, the thing that pushed me over the edge on buying Guild Wars 1 was opening that little insert and seeing the picture of the ranger shooting at the bone dragon, and it looked very cinematic. That was an in-game picture. It tricked me. You know, now, again, I don't regret it because I've enjoyed the game greatly. But that particular angle, it looked very cinematic and everything. It's like, that wasn't the game. It was game footage, but it was presented more cinematically than the game I actually experienced. So that was a little advertising cheat, you know, they do there. So how the hell did we go down this whole thing? Way too, yeah, ad hominem. That was, even if they know better. Yeah, there's a pull to doing the personal insults thing with someone you disagree with. That, there is a pull to it. It's not right. It's wrong. You shouldn't do that. And yet, it feeds into the Xbox chat room, or not the Xbox chat room, Call of Duty chat room behavior. You're wrong. You're wrong because I don't like what you said. No. Holson, yeah, that's right. It was Holson, leading us down the hole a little bit. That's all right, I suppose. I got us talking. Oh, hang on. I need to rewind chat a little bit. I've missed out on some stuff. If I was running the country, we'd have Waterworld already. Let's see. Problem is, critical thinkers are hard to control. Exactly. And that's why it's not actively taught. Yeah, what was it? Back in the 60s, with all the protests and everything back in the 60s, one of the longest lasting products of the 60s protest movement was the removal of the civics curriculum from education. People are no longer taught basic civics. So, citizens don't have a greater handle on like the right, and this is speaking for the US particularly. They effectively dumbed down our education after the protests of the 60s, because it's like, whoa, hey, those protests, they got a little crazy. We can't have that anymore. Whether you agree with the protests or not is besides the point. The idea of protest was unappealing. So polarization, probably the biggest problem. Even smart people are unable to have empathy for people they disagree with politically, for example. Yeah, polarization, tribalization, all bad. Don't even aim for most people money, but for the whales. Yeah. It doesn't even start in schools, but at home are children asking why, and parents are crying, because I said so. Because I said so. Yeah. That's always a fun one. And, I know why the parents say that. It's because they either don't know, or they want to assert their authority and shut down a line of questioning. Or hurry up, kid. No, we do have to get in the car to go to Aunt Martha's for dinner. Why? Because I said so. It's like, what was it Carl Sagan said, that kids, when they're asking the question why, they're asking all these great questions. Why is the sky blue? Why is the sun, where does the sun go at night? All this stuff. All basic informational things, but then by the time they come out of the school system, they're done asking questions. They're like, they don't want to know. And he lamented it. It is a lamentable thing. Something bad has happened in the education system when people no longer want to learn. When they get to the point where they either feel like they know everything, or they know they don't know everything and they just don't want to be bothered to try to learn anything more. It's a sad moment. And honestly, I feel a little bit of guilt over this. I was the same way. In junior high, high school, my mother... Oops. I think my class learned about civics and whatnot, registered to vote at school. That's, unfortunately, Jeff, that is a rare case. Bigger problem is babying of teens and young adults. College is basically daycare for 20-year-olds. Yeah, a bit. Holy crap. Oh, that was just... I just got a really loud ding in my ear. I was going to talk about... I'm going to pause the game here so I can actually tell this story. This is something I feel guilty... This is a personal story, and I still feel guilty about it. My mother, she was a pathologist. She was in med school, and she was always trying to learn new things. She had all these science magazines, and she was always reading, always learning new stuff. About the time I got to junior high, she gave up on her pathology job and was a housewife the whole time. But she never lost the wanting to learn thing. And what she specifically enjoyed doing the most was trying to impart knowledge to other people, specifically us, her children. So when I remember it clearly, in 8th grade, I had a geology class, science class. Tons of kids never get a taste of independence until 17 or 18. By then it's too late. Emotionally stunted. Yeah, I would... You're looking at him. This guy. My mother really, really wanted... When she found out that I had a geology class, and at the time we were living in Colorado, so we had... we lived nearby the foothills to the Rocky Mountains. So we had all this really interesting geological stuff, just like a stone's throw away from where we lived at the time. So when she found out that I was in a geology class and I needed to go out and do field projects for stuff, she was always jumping. She was like, yeah, let's go. She got to the point where every weekend she would be like knocking on my door. Hey, do you have any projects? Do we need to go up the mountain this weekend for any stuff? I got so sick of her asking. It was almost like she was begging me, to go out on these projects, that honestly, it kind of made me resent geology for many, many years, just because I was in the 8th grade. It was the beginning of, teenage rebellion, and all that stuff, where the last thing you wanted to do was kind of be out and about with your parents. It's when you're trying to, figure out who you are. And also, Mom would let it go. So, Full Metal Rabbit. Hey, well, welcome in, Full Metal Rabbit. How you doing? We're talking about a lot of stuff here that's not really... The game is just kind of background. Having the mindset of never being fully taught is good, too. Yeah, well, and they're wholesome. That's the Socrates thing. It's like, do you know what you don't know? I make no... pretense of knowing anything about anything. I know that there's a lot of shit that I don't know. But the attitude I try to adopt with that is, I know that I don't know everything about certain topics, shall we say, But you know what I'm going to do because I don't know everything? I am not going to be the one that's going to stand up and yell loudest about that subject. I'm going to be the one sitting in back and try to listen. If there's something that I don't know about, that's usually a pretty good indicator that I need to learn about it before I talk about it. So, I used to have a friend who was a teacher, and we endlessly talked about school needing to be more rewarding rather than punishing. Yep. So much focus on screwing up your tests instead of instilling the want to learn. Yeah, exactly. School... I've heard that public school has gotten much worse, especially after No Child Left Behind and all that. It all became very test focused. Even before No Child Left Behind, I remember fearing tests. I was like, oh God, there's a lot of stress around it. I remember the early years of my education, there was a lot more of that. The teachers trying to lead you through, well, not really, I don't want to say lead you through. Trying to get you, the student, to ask questions, to try to get you to be engaged and give you interest in a subject. And I remember at some point that stopped being the case. And school became work. Well, it was always a little bit of work. But it was noticeably less enjoyable when I didn't feel I was just told this, instead of being felt like I was being included on a journey of knowledge instead of just on a tour, you know, on like a Jungle Cruise tour of history or something. So here you can bring arguments for basic universal income. You should not need to have more than one job, more than maximum 40-hour work weeks to sustain the most basic things such as food, home, and internet. Land of the free is freaking America, fuck yeah, gun problem, and so many more arguments. Like, see, okay, here's my thing, and this is, you know, dangerous close to the politics thing, but here's another thing I feel is, you know, not addressing any of those specific issues. If I see that a person's opinion of a political topic or whatever is essentially boiled down to a bumper sticker, that's another indication to me that I'm like, okay, I need to be a little careful around this person, maybe, because there's often not a simple answer, you know, for stuff. A lot of shit is a lot more complicated than, you know, people want to acknowledge. That's not to say that there can't be simple solutions. There absolutely can be. But I am wary of, like, you know, bumper sticker politics. I don't really like that. You know, that kind of stuff. Now, do I have strongly held, you know, political opinions about stuff? Yes, I do. I will try to listen to people of the opposing side. But yeah, when the ad hominems, the strawmen start coming out, that's when I'm like, okay, we're not making any headway here. Real life after school, you never practice for a test. The life itself is the true test. Yeah, there's stuff like that. Honestly, oh shoot, there's a patrol here. I'm trying to talk and think and play a game all at the same time. This is hard. This is hard, man. I see other streamers talking about like big deep stuff while they're playing a game. I'm like, wow, how did they do it? Because I'm like not. I feel like I'm floundering around like crazy. Yeah, let's clear out these guys first. So much cry of frustration. Look at all the cry of frustration. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get my own healing. Nope, I can't. We got a party wipe to cry of frustration here. This is what I get for talking, you know, fancy stuff. Less than 10% of Americans have more than one job. Not as common as people try to make it out to be. Yeah, I would need to double check that number. But I do agree. My basic thing is if you have a full-time job, if you're a person, you have a full-time job, you should be able to live sustainably on a full-time job. You should not be forced to get into multiple jobs in order to make ends meet, I feel. You know, there's a secondary question there about, well, what kind of quality of living do you want? But generally speaking, you have a full-time job, you should be able to live on that. So, I guess you could argue, that streamer and I have more than one job because of Twitch. This is not a job. This is not a job yet. A, for one, I'm enjoying it. B, I do not make the money. I do not make money enough to call this a job. You know, Bezos is making more money off of my channel than I am. You know, I'm just here playing games, honestly. Now, on the good months where I have made a lot of money, it's like, okay, yeah, I've been able to, I can look at my wife and say, hey, you know what? We can go out for dinner. You know, that's a good month. You know, people joke about, oh yeah, fancy rich streamer, man. It's like, no, I'm as about as small time as they come. I get maybe 4 to 5 viewers a stream, depending on the game. I only have, I think, 8 subs currently. I do not make money here. This is just a oh, there's the hollow log. That's where I need to go. This is just hobby, you know. That I occasionally get a tip now and then is just, yeah, that's just extra. So, who says you need more than one job? Depends what you're being paid. Minimum wage. If you're getting paid minimum wage for a full-time job, depending where you're living in the country, you cannot afford housing, food, etc. It also depends what. So I live in Oregon. I think the federal minimum wage is what, $7.25. In Oregon, our minimum wage is double that. Is like 14. I think it actually is literally double. I think it's like 14 and a half. Problem is, in Oregon, a lot of places, you know, even with the extra money, that's still not enough. Like making minimum wage in Portland, you cannot live in Portland on minimum wage. Oh, unless you're living in a camper or something, you can't afford the real estate. I have a very well-paying job, you know, day job. And I'm not going to say how much I make, but it's very well-paying. I cannot afford to live in Portland. I have to live way out in the suburbs of Portland. So, you know, it's all location based. You know, there's places where it might work. Although I think I remember seeing some disturbing charts somewhere that, you know, what basic livability was depending on minimum wage, you know, throughout the country, and it was pretty disturbing to see that it was everything was less and less livable nationwide on minimum wage. Let's see. Holson, sorry if I opened an endless subject hole. Well, got me talking. I don't know how cohesive any of my thoughts are. I'm just responding. Food stamps are a thing. People living on the streets are a thing. Yeah, food. People need food, shelter, water. You know, there are a lot of luxuries. There's also more and more there's also transportation. If you're living in the suburbs, chances are you need a car. If you're living more in the city, and again, this is me using the example of Portland a little bit more, just because it's a city I know a little bit more. If you're living in Portland, you can use the transit system. We actually have a decent public transit system here, but that costs money. Admittedly, not as much as a car and having to maintain a car and all that jazz, but it's still a cost. Still a consideration. Depends on the job and the area. It's very trendy for younger folks to move in, live in larger cities. Cost of living is high. Recipe for disappointment. Many opportunities, yeah. What did I see? There was a house. So I live in the suburbs of Portland. The house that we have right now, I live in a house. It's a ranch-style house. And I bought it for, at the time, it was about $250,000. Which, honestly, when I think about that, it still makes me shudder because I'm like, holy crap, that's I have a $250,000 house. Now, I didn't have that money, of course. You know, I've got a hefty mortgage. The only reason I was able to actually start, you know, with the house was I had some money inheritance money from my grandmother that we were able to use as a down payment. Now that house, this house, $250,000 house, and it's just a small ranch house. We've got a little bit of a front yard, a little bit of a backyard. We're in the suburbs. It's a nice house. This same house down in Portland at the same time would have been just shy of $1 million. It would have been 4 times the cost. You know, that's the level of real estate difference that there was, and this is 15 years ago. It's only gotten worse, you know. Hot take: one single 40-hour job, limited to 40 actually hours of work each week, should be more than enough to actually own at least an apartment, yearly vacation, and not having to worry about sick ever, with the only reason to go above 40 hours a week to be able to upgrade from apartment to a litter house or be the single sustainer of the family. Yeah, Blood, that's about, I feel that's about where I am. I think I mentioned that before, is if you're working full time, you should be able to live, you know. How good the apartment is, how, you know, how good the living situation and all that is, you know, I suppose potentially open for discussion. I wouldn't say that you should be able to live in a luxury, you know, a luxury condo necessarily for minimum wage, but you should have at minimum the basics. You should have the roof over your head. You should be able to, yeah, I agree. Have vacation time, you know, have sick days, you know, you should be valued more than just a cog in a machine, I feel. So, not having to worry about getting sick ever. Well, I think what he means by that is more about having like maybe sick leave or or disability leave, you know, something along those lines. Medical bills. Oh yeah, medical. Medical bill. There's a whole other thing there, boy. Oof. Where the hell am I? Oh. Collector, you're not... Okay, that is not a armor collector. I've been playing this game like blind. Oh, marching to Quarrel Falls? Oh, that's back here. Okay. I'm going to go back in here, turn in this quest. I think I'm going to do this this one quest, the White Mantle thing, and then I think I'm going to probably end stream a bit. Oh, shit. I need to do some inventory management. Oh, hey, Jeff, I've got a Superior Beast Mastery rune. I don't know if you want that for your character at all. Oh, I need an ID kit here. Not having to worry about medical bills include higher bills you'd get for actually solving medical problems instead of just getting, fighting symptoms. Yeah, depends on the condition. There's a number of factors there, but I agree. Medical is a consideration. Oops. Hang on. Trying to organize things. Get things identified. Kind of cool thing I think his mom told me about her playing and have a set offer on a pretty big forest area to buy at a scary price point. Oh yeah, there's that whole thing. I have a cousin actually. He worked at I think he worked at Hewlett Packard back in the 70s. And it was during the computer boom. He made a mountain of money, and he was able to actually do that. He bought a large plot of land and built a house from the ground up. And I think about that now and then and just kind of marvel at how he was able to do that. Granted, it was the 70s and 80s, you know, prices were a little different. But still, even back then, that cost a bundle of money. So, want less medical bills? Come to Canada. We have cupcakes. Well, Canada, you've got the universal, healthcare. I've heard that it's a less than optimal implementation of universal healthcare, but it's at least something. Hoarder alert, yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. And I don't need all of this stuff. Normal seed. I'm just gonna. Oh wait, leather belt, leather belt. Yeah, I can get leather off that. The land area alone is just shy of 1 million. Yep. Depends on your province. It could be more optimized for sure. Better than the pew pew healthcare system of the land of the free. The healthcare system in the United States is essentially, unless you have a job, chances are you do not have healthcare. Well, that actually changed a little bit. There was the Affordable Health Care Act came through that if you're unemployed, you could still get healthcare. It still costs you, though. All of our healthcare still goes through private companies. So, and of course, private companies aren't necessarily interested in making things affordable for their customers. Basically American healthcare is it's a privatized system where the goal is, generally speaking, to make money. Why am I not? Oh, this. Oh, I need to talk to Alarm. Oh, okay. All right. I was wrong. I'm getting mixed up between these two quests. So here in America, we're more or less at the mercy of private insurers and whatever rates they decide to charge. Now, there's things that the government has been able to do to help. Like, what did I think? I think the Biden administration just got insulin down to $35, at least from one manufacturer. And I think that's forcing other manufacturers to drop down to $35, which is much better than the, $700 that they were trying to charge before. So there's stuff like that there, but it's still a largely unregulated, I don't want to say unregulated, uncontrolled area, it seems like. Lots of room for improvement. We have better cancer survival rates than most countries. Well, I wonder about that sometimes, because how many of our cancers are actually detected? How many people are actually going to get tested? Like, I know in my case, I had a healthcare episode about 10 years ago now, where I had a seizure at work and I passed out. And they, of course, called the ambulance, and they picked me up and they put me in the ambulance and drove me 2 blocks. Our main hospital was literally 2 blocks away from my place of employment. That 2-block drive in the ambulance cost me $2,000. So now, ever since then, in my head, and I understand, paying resources, all this stuff, I still feel it was crazy inflated. What it did to me, though, is it said, okay, if this happens again, if I pass out, and I woke back up, I should say, I woke back up at work. I was conscious when they put me in the ambulance. What that did to me was it made me say, okay, if I pass out again at work, I am not calling the ambulance. I am going to go to one of my coworkers and say, hey, dude, I think I just had another episode. Can you drive me there? The last thing I wanted to do was call an ambulance, and frankly, that's fucked up. you know, that's messed up, that my first instinct to having something wrong with me, something medically wrong, a medical emergency, is whatever you do, don't call the ambulance. You know, I hated that, but it's still in my head to this day, honestly. Hot take: ambulance rides should be completely free, period. I would have settled for a reduced rate for the hospital being literally 2 blocks away. And I should say, for the EMTs not having to do anything to me. They didn't do anything to me besides put like a blood pressure monitor on me, load me in the back of the truck, and drive me the 2 blocks. For that, I paid $2,000. So yeah, that was my first great brush with our medical system, and it's left me a little bit scarred. So now I'd be like, would I even want to know that I had cancer? Would I go in for testing? Because I know for sure I wouldn't be able to afford treatment. Honestly, chances are, if I found out that I had cancer, I'd be like, okay, well, time to get my affairs in order. It's time to curl up in a ball and die. Do I like saying any of this? No, I hate it. I hate it. But that's the reality of where I am in my life, sadly. So at least we don't have to worry about ambulance prices in the UK. There's still a lot wrong with the NHS. Yeah, I've heard the NHS hasn't the UK government been trying to defund the NHS a lot. Where I live, calling an ambulance is $15 US. That's it. I would have been A-okay with that. That would have been fine. Hey, up it to 50. You know, or even 100. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. That's a manageable number, you know. $2,000 is like, no, $2,000 is a down payment on a car, you know. It's like, yeah, I still think about that a lot, honestly, because I mean, I'm old, I'm getting older, and I'm having more issues wrong with me. So it is more prevalent in my mind that I'm going to start having episodes like that more often, and potentially have to pay out the nose for it. And I'm employed. I have health, and that was with health insurance. That was with health insurance. I still had to pay $2,000. Our ambulance fees aren't that bad, but I think a 2-block trip would cost about $500. I would have taken $500 over $2,000, but I still think $500 is a little bit much. Everyone wants shit to be free. No one wants to pay taxes. I want to pay taxes. My thing is, I want my tax money to actually be used in useful ways that comes back, that I benefit from, and that people around me benefit from. I want my tax dollars to be useful. And you know, I don't have a problem paying taxes. I have an issue with where the tax money goes at times. You know, so I would have no problem paying more in taxes if it meant getting some better baseline for healthcare. And I know in certain circles that's going to make me instantly sound like some communist, socialist guy. It's like, at that point, I don't care. It's like, it's a thing. It'll benefit me. It'll benefit other people. It'll keep me from having to sell my house if anything bad ever happens to me. Oops, I didn't mean to pick up that chocolate egg. you know, you can't have one without the other. You can't have services like a healthcare system without taxes. But then, yeah, to Jeff's point, people don't want to pay taxes. It's like you can't have one without the other. The thing is a lot of people have different thresholds for what they would consider acceptable taxes. There's a lot of people in the United States that think no tax is acceptable. There should not be any taxes at all. Which is, well, that's just, you know, shut down everything at that point. Or if there is something, it's maybe sales tax. I think people generally get behind the idea of like gas taxes for road maintenance. That's actually a very easy one, because that one you can see. You know it's like, okay, this is a road. It makes sense. A gas tax on cars would go directly into the roads that the cars travel on. That feels like a very one-to-one... Why am I attacking the spirit of symbiosis? That feels like a very one-to-one cost-benefit thing that we would see. There was another one. What was it? I think cigarette taxes going towards like cancer, like lung cancer stuff. I don't remember. What's going on here? Oh, the White Mantle. Right. White Mantle are fighting White Mantle are fighting centaurs. Well, I can take advantage of that. So, first time chat from X Nudist. Symbiosis is spooky. Symbiosis, what is that? That just gives like higher... That gives everyone higher health points, doesn't it? I think. But anyway, welcome in. Yeah, I'm playing Guild Wars. I'm doing a little bit of an Ironman thing. I'm playing with henchmen, but otherwise all the equipment is just drops only. And I guess I'm going to... Ventari's Refuge. You know what? That's it. I will end stream at Ventari's Refuge. I feel for you guys over there. It's messed up. Yeah, things aren't great over here, sadly. They could be better. How do they calculate the ambulance prices? I have no idea. Although apparently, I've actually since learned a trick. Is that when here in the States, when you get some crazy medical bill, if you just ask for like an itemized receipt, you know, like an itemized list of everything you're paying for, sometimes that will magically make the price, you know, drop drastically when they actually have to prove what they spent the money on. Which again suggests, okay, there's something wrong here in the system where the minute you ask people to back up what I'm paying for, the price changes. That means there's already something, you know, not on the level going on. Yeah, that's messed up. It scales with the Symbiosis scales with the number of enchantments, but yes, overall more hit points. Oh yeah, so actually here, I'll take a look at this. Come to think about it, I've never... Oh, well, bye-bye, Spirit of Symbiosis. I was going to look at you, but apparently not anymore. Guild Wars 1 and solving all the world's problems. I am not solving any problems here. If anything, I'm maybe pointing them out. But I'm not pointing them out to anyone who doesn't already know about these problems. I don't have any solutions. I have things that I would do. But again, you know, to the critical thinking point earlier, I am the first to admit that I don't know everything about... I am the least qualified person to enact a healthcare system for the United States. I have some personal stories of my own run-ins with our healthcare system that I feel I might be able to use to inform a debate, but I'm not going to be the one to say exactly what it should be. I do have ideas of what it should be. What the hell was that? Oh, fire trap. So, they don't want to be outed as frauds, but I'll use that tip just in case it works. I mean, it's one of the. It's a tip. You might as well try it. It might benefit. 2,000 down payment on a car, a trip to Europe. In your case, a rent bill on a very nice home. We were talking about renter. $2,000 would be rent for an apartment in Portland, and not necessarily a very nice apartment either. It'd be a pretty low end place. So yeah, that little hospital episode cost me a 1-month stay in a questionable apartment in Portland. Damn it. Oh well. I mean, I chalk that up to me now being a little older and a little wiser, but well, I don't know if I'd say wiser. It's made me wiser in the sense that it's given me, like I mentioned before, some hesitancy in calling for medical help. And I still feel that's pretty messed up, you know. I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to die because of that at some point. You know, I'm gonna start having a heart attack or something and be like, no, it's fine. Don't call the ambulance, you know. I don't know. It's just an uncomfortable feeling. Next time, we'll join your stream as a viewer for only $100 an hour. I'm not going to be that guy. No. Like I said, this is just me goofing around. Well, ordinarily it's me goofing around. Getting into, deeper discussions of, what's wrong. You know what? I'm not even going to bother fighting you guys. Oh, well, maybe I will if I'm getting stuck on invisible walls. There. I was just going to try to run into the outpost, but... But I was blocked. So now they must die. No healthcare for centaurs. We'll say that much. How about that? So, the rent here in London is disgusting, is it? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm used to hearing about how bad it is in the States, because I live here and because I'm in the Portland greater metro area. Is pretty bad. Gonna pick up these quests. I'm not gonna bother reading them. I'm actually starting to get pretty tired. I'm gonna pick up these quests. Go in, and I think I'm going to wind down here. We don't know the healthcare situation for those centaurs. That is true. Sarah, for that matter, they might actually have their own healthcare system where if they managed to get their wounded back to their camp, maybe they had some great system at work. We don't know. All I know is I was not providing. I was actively depriving them of their health care in that case. Oh. Ventari. Yeah, well, whatever. I'll go over the details of the story stuff later. I heard a friend of mine who knows someone living in an apartment in New York have monthly on 8,000. Insane prices. I wonder what kind of apartment that is. I don't necessarily doubt that. I would think that would at least be a good apartment, though. Person's job works in an investment bank, so they've got nice income. I would guess that that's a upper crust, a more or less upper crust apartment. You won't see the the day-to-day rabble, renting for 8,000. We can't even piece together 2,000. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it here. Hang on. Well, I'm going to finish reading. Butt spot, that butt spotting didn't really work all that very well. So you shouldn't assume. Yeah, that's true. Sint, off to play some Guild Wars yourself. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Sint. Thanks for the follow. I'll see you later. Yeah, I'm gonna close up shop here. Thanks everyone for coming in, hanging out, and talking. Everyone can afford rent if you pile 10 people into the building. There is that going on. Our next door neighbors, it's a multi-generational, family. There's a lot of that going on. Is a lot of roommates, having to pool money, for living accommodations. But in any case, thanks everyone for coming in. Thanks. It's been a discussion. I for the record, I do not usually do this much discussion, around topics of, concern, shall we say. But still, it's been interesting here. But yeah, Full Metal Rabbit. Yeah, thanks for coming in. See you around. And Jeff and Sarah, let me hang on before I fully leave. Let me put up my end stream thing. I'm gonna see if there's a raid type of thing we can do. Oh, that was like not cool. Oh yeah, the time in The Last of Us Part 2 when I killed someone who looked like a coworker. That was fun. Paulson, thanks for the entertainment. Well, I'm glad you found it entertaining. Let's see what's going on Twitch. Let's see if we've got anyone to raid. Let's see. Slayer Val is in Dead Space. You know what? I'm going to send you over to Cannibal Kane. He is currently playing Stray, and he's also a fellow Guild Wars guy. And I was hanging out in his Stray chat earlier, so let's do the raid thing. I need to... This is the kind of... I don't trust my spelling here. Get a bunch of life, get a potion. All right. Raid messages. First raid message if you're subscribed. Second raid message if you're not. Feel free to copy paste whichever you feel applies to you. And we'll send you over to Cannibal Kane. He is currently in Stray. I think he's in the last city, but I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out, and I will be back Tuesday night for hopefully to finish up the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, and then next Saturday for Uncharted 2, and next Sunday likely more Guild Wars. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for everyone for hanging out, and I will see you next time.